Hello everyone, I'm Heather. Today we're back continuing with Giallo July readathon slash watchathon. Okay, readathon slash watchathon, best described by the hosts themselves. So I'm going to put their videos down below. Okay, but roughly, okay, if I'm getting it right, it's sort of thriller crime fiction. Okay, sort of maybe like old school sort of noir thriller crime fiction. Okay, that's the best I got. It's the best I got. And last week I did already a couple books. I read 2 books and watched 1 movie. Movie was good. It fit. I think the two books, even though they were good, they didn't really fit with our vibe. Okay, they're not fully giallo. Like, they weren't thrillery enough. I don't think it was like working with our theme. So in order to try to nail down the theme, okay, to get it right this week, I think I'm just gonna like give my whole thing over to Patricia Highsmith. Okay, I'm just gonna devote my life to Patricia Highsmith this week. Just let Patricia lead us into the best sort of giallo places that she can send us to. Okay, I'm gonna do an audiobook, a book, and then I'm gonna watch something as well. And I've already talked to James, talked to my husband, he's down. We're gonna watch that shit. We're gonna love it. Okay. For the audiobook, we're gonna go with Strangers on a Train. So this one is about these 2 dudes. They each have someone they want to bump off, okay? Like, one guy like wants his wife murdered and stuff, and they know that if they're the ones to do it, they're going to be like the first suspects, okay? They're going to go down for it. So instead, they decide to switch, you know, and like bump off each other's person. So like the random guy is going to kill the wife of this other guy, and then that guy's going to like kill this guy's father or whatever. We're going to do it that way. So thriller, fiction. See, we're getting it now. Next one, okay, book. This is the physical book we're going to read, Deep Water. This one is giving Rebecca a bit, I think, which I love. I love Daphne du Maurier, okay? But the idea, I think, beautiful woman who's married but has just like this stream of lovers that she just flaunts in front of her husband and like manipulates him and just makes him feel completely useless and emasculated. Okay, and then one of the lovers ends up dead, and then we sort of go from there, spirals down into thrillerness. So I'm excited about that. Okay, and then for the movie, basically I can only watch movies that I can find on either Netflix or like Disney Plus, basically, because that's all we've really got. And we don't have a DVD player. I haven't had one since about 2005, and everyone that has one, here's a question. What do you do for DVDs? Like, do you just watch the same DVDs over and over again? Do you have just like a massive shelf of them? Do you like only rent them? Like, I don't understand. I rarely watch the same thing twice. Do you know what I mean? So when I was a kid and I had like movies, even then, like VHS movies, I never used to really watch them. They just like, I'd watch them once and then they'd just live in the house forever after that. Anyway, that's completely off topic, but okay. So, I think what we're going to do, so we've already watched this one, Rebecca, loved it. Now we're going to do, in a Patricia Highsmith spirit, okay, Ripley. This one came out this year, I think, and it's like, according to Bert, I passed away time, it's set in Italy. It's like they knew that we were going to need it for this. It's perfect. But we do have loads of things hindering us in our reading this week, so I don't know if we'll be able to finish in a week. I have like 2 events at work all day Friday and all day Saturday. Like, I know, working on a Saturday, gross. I know. And then I also have a Shania Twain concert and a bachelorette party, and that's just the next couple days. So we'll have to see how we're gonna fit it all in, but we'll do our best. At the minute, I have to go running. Okay, break. I'm so annoyed. Like, okay, I normally come out running like 9ish, or like in the summertime, like between 9 and 10 or whatever. But like in the summer, 9 o'clock, go running. It's like getting dusk, and there's no one out because it's really late. I can have like the streets to myself, especially when it's raining like this. It's pissing down. Okay, but today I've randomly come out an hour earlier. It's because I was like, oh, I'll just go down. And there are so many people out. Bro? Like what? Do you know it's nearly 9 o'clock and that is pissing rain? Like, this is my time, bro. What are you doing? And I just full on ran into a person. It was like fully my fault and I felt really bad and I like said I'm really sorry. Like, she seemed okay. But I think she just came out of nowhere. But like, when I think about it, she didn't come out of nowhere. It's just that I did not expect a person to be there because I've literally never in my life while running seen a person there. It's just a very strange place in my mind for a person to be. So I didn't even think to check there for a person, let alone one walking fastly on her phone. Do you know what I mean? And they were just like, there was like this huge group of people as well, like in the road. And I was like, oh, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. No one, just chatting. Didn't even know I was there until I had to scream, excuse me. Didn't scream it, I'm not like a crazy person. But I said, oh, you know, excuse me. And they looked at me like, rude. Like, well, I said it politely, you didn't move. Like, why are you even out at this time? Bro, it is bedtime. It is time to be inside. Anyway. Like, you know this one, yeah?
Hmm?
Like, you know the talented Mr. Ripley?
Well, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Actually, I think it was like this con man guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, takes someone's identity or something.
Okay.
Did you go to college here?
No, Princeton.
Princeton. Oh, your parents must be very proud.
Maybe she's like ill or something. And that's why they need the son back.
What do you think that?
Well, I don't know, like he just said, oh, it's time for him to come out. He didn't really say anything else. And then she like just stared at his photo and then he was like, oh, it's a time for a rest. Like, she needs rest a lot.
Doesn't that look like him as well?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe she like saw a resemblance or something.
Mm.
Do you want to watch it too?
Yeah.
Okay, come in. There's not enough space, we need to get a bigger couch.
Oh yeah, we did that 2 times. Maisie can have 2 couches.
I'm confused. Like, if he's supposed to be rich or whatever, now that they've given him money to be rich,
Lloyd.
why is he like taking the bus and all this? Like,
He
isn't he
just
supposed
doesn't
to?
understand how to.
He doesn't
do
know how to be
differently.
rich, so he could be rich if he could
Well,
act rich if he
Or
wanted.
just can't communicate. You know, what would he do if he's really rich? Have a private driver or something, but he doesn't know how to arrange all of that.
Oh right. Oh,
That's cool.
what, the dark water or his tiny trunks?
What do you mean his tiny trunk's so scary?
I don't know. He said it was creepy. Well, it is creepy. Look, he's got weird trunks.
Weird.
Okay, I'm gonna walk you through my weekend here just quickly. Okay, this, first of all, this is work. I know. Don't. Okay, I'm traumatized enough that I had to work on a weekend. Okay, I didn't have a lot of time to do any vlogging, do anything really, because I had so much stuff on, just bang, 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 bang. So I didn't do a lot of vlogging. So I'm just gonna give you clips and I'm gonna give you a rundown. Okay, quick rundown. Work was super busy and exhausting. It was an open day. The girls, the gays, and I went to Shania Twain in Chepstow. I love Shania Twain. I've loved her since I was a kid, and she was brilliant, but my god, it pished it down the whole time. I've never been so wet. Katie, my friend, was serving a full look. Oh my god, hair, but by the end, like, all of her eyelashes had unalived themselves by jumping off her face. This is me having a full meltdown in the toilet. Like, I'm in a porta potty, and I've chosen that over fresh air because my god, I was so soggy and I just needed a minute to think about my life choices. Okay, finally, when Shania came on, we had this like glorious, like angelic dry spell where suddenly it just stopped raining and she came on and she was amazing and everyone's spirits just lifted. My friends just let the spirit take them, throwing their max off like they're Chippendale dancers. But then everything took another turn for the worse, walking back in the mud to the car and then spending 2 hours in the parking lot trying to get out of that hellhole because everyone was stuck and trying to go. Okay, I just want to say quickly, these boots Okay, I got them, I think, on clearance at the Farm and Feed some 20 years ago when I was in high school. I got them for God knows why. They were just like super cheap and don't even fit properly, but looked super cute. I was like, I'm gonna have those boots. I'm gonna wear them all of the most impractical places. They've never actually seen mud in their lives, okay? But at this concert, I was the only one with warm, dry feet who wasn't falling in the mud, okay? These are proper cowboy boots, and I forgot that. And that was a brilliant idea, wearing those to Shania. This is just work again. It's another open day. It was a double day event. It went over the whole weekend. People were really angry about some last minute changes we made to our entry requirements, so I got shouted at a lot. This guy looks a lot like how I felt. Then the fun didn't stop here. I couldn't go home and relax. I had to go immediately to a hen party. American translation, bachelorette party. And we got these really cute little handbags with party favors in them, okay? And there's like, you know, ear thingies and like a penis whistle and like penis straws. I was talking to my friend and she was like, girl, I know what you're thinking right now. And I was like, how can you possibly know what I'm thinking? She's like, you're thinking, should I give my kid this penis whistle? And I was like, Jesus, I was thinking that, but I don't think that she would even know that it was a penis. Like, I think if I said, oh, it's a nose whistle, you know, she loves a whistle. And she's like, do not give your kid this penis whistle. And I was like, but, and she's like, no, I'm going to tell you this one time only. Do not give your child this penis whistle. And so I went home and I went to bed and I was like, I'm not going to give my kid this penis whistle. But then my kid in the morning woke up and she took possession of all the stuff and she took possession of the penis whistle and she loved it. And she was like, Mommy, can I have this? And I was like, no. And she was like, can I take it to the birthday party later? And I was like, 100% no. And she's like, why not? And I was like, I'll tell you when you're older. This is just a collection of pictures of me with an inflatable penis on my head. You're welcome. And this is my favorite place to go after I've been drinking for ages because they have a vegan mcplant now. Okay, I'm headed home now from this bachelorette party, right? And it is daylight. It's daylight. It's like, it's 9:30. It's 9:30, girls. And I am gone. I'm gone. I had to accelerate my drinking plan because I was at work all day. And then I got to the bachelor party thing later than everyone else. They'd already been out for like the whole day, right? And we had like these drink tokens or get free drinks. So I was just basically slamming those, trying to catch up. And it was brilliant. It was a lovely time. And everyone was like, oh, now we gotta get the last train. Like, that's... And everyone like lives in Bridgend and stuff like that. They've got to get the last train back from Cardiff, so they've got to go like sort of roughly this time. But I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, girls. So I got McDonald's, got mcplant. Like, ever since McDonald's started doing vegan stuff, like, my god, my life has changed for the better. Wait, someone's coming. I can't look like I'm pissed now. Hold on. I was close. They're very confident and stylish teenagers and would have judged me very harshly. So I'm glad I looked cool and I walked past them and not super stupid.
I think I remember.
Would you?
Yeah.
This is like a fat potato.
Okay.
He's like, has really sharp claws. But he's really sweet. And she nibbles like this. It feels just like, that's how it feels when she nibbles you. But she doesn't nibble you. She only nibbles you one time to see who you are. Oh, and you have to say happy birthday to her every time you walk in the room, or she'll be grumpy.
What do you think here when you go?
Okay, I've had more of a chance today to do book stuff. This whole weekend has been kicking off. So much shit to do. I haven't had any chance. Like last week, I was so good. I finished like 2 books and a movie in the space of 3 days. But like this weekend, shit. Like, I've had no time. Okay, but today, Sunday, right? I'm so upset. We watched a bit of Ripley again last night when I was drunk. And it's brilliant. I'm loving it. And then also I've been listening to the audiobook today of Strangers on a Train. Okay. I love Patricia Highsmith so much. She's fucking amazing. So, Ripley, first of all. It's on Netflix. It's not a movie. It's like a limited series, okay? So it's like 7 episodes. Each one's like an hour. But it's got like a film vibe, you know, like sort of like old school like film noir sort of vibe. And the first couple of episodes are sort of a bit like whimsical, like our character's a bit silly and a bit stupid, and I don't know, like the music is a bit sort of whimsical sometimes, and like a couple things happen and, you know, we sort of like laugh at it, like it's a bit stupid, you know. But like as the episodes are going on, they're starting to get like a bit creepier. Like our guy, he didn't really know what was going on. He was a bit silly before, but now he's like, he's smart, he's learning fast, you know, he's like catching on to some things. And the music isn't as whimsical anymore. It's starting to get really dark and a bit creepy. Like, not to give anything away, but he's done a murder. Okay, he's done somebody off. And James and I are looking at it and we're like, there's a couple other people here now who are also smart and they're going to catch on. They're going to know what he's doing. They're in the way. He's going to have to bump them off too. We'll see. I don't know. But it's really good. We're really enjoying it. Okay, and then this audiobook, Strangers on a Train. The book itself, Strangers on a Train, I think it was Patricia Highsmith's first book, and they made it into a movie, I think, a Hitchcock movie in the 50s or something, which I may watch, but I don't know, like, I'm not in love with old movies. The book itself, I'm loving. So good. But the audiobook that I've chosen, I think there's more than one option available. The audiobook I've chosen is shit. Like, the acting is really shit. Like, there's, like, bad accents and, like, hamminess, and I may give it up and just read the book. I don't know, because the book itself is really good, and I don't want to, like, be spoiled by this, like, stupid audiobookness. Okay, but the idea. I've got this guy. He's married to this woman he doesn't want to be married to. So she's unfaithful. She's like pregnant by some other guy. She wants a divorce, you know, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, fine. You know, he's a bit hurt, but he's like, I'm in love with this other woman anyway. And I've got all these job prospect things on. Like, we'll just end it. It's fine. But then she sort of puts a wrench in things. And she's like, actually, you know, he's still married and he's like, he can't get a divorce or he doesn't want a divorce or whatever. And she's like, I want to stay married a little bit longer and I want to come with you on your work trips and stuff like that. And he's like, shit, is she gonna like ruin this work stuff for me? She's gonna ruin it for me so I can't be with this other woman that I love, blah, blah. He started getting worried. And on the train, he meets this like psycho, like spoiled, selfish, trust fund baby sort of guy who's kicking off because his dad won't let him have like all the money he wants. Like, he won't allow him access to like his full inheritance money or something stupid like that. And he says, hey, like, you're pissed at your wife, innit? Like, maybe you could bump off my dad and I'll kill your wife, you know, and we'll never get caught. Like, we've got no motive to kill these other people. Like, no one will ever know that we've done it. And the guy who's normal, you know, he's like, of course not. Go away, you psycho, you know. But he left his book on the train with that guy on accident, and it had his address in it. So now the psychopath guy, he knows where he lives, and he just sends him a letter. He's like, hey, what's up? So you might be thinking about our deal, potentially. So now this guy's like scared, but he's like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna leave it. And he goes to visit this woman that he loves now in Mexico or something. And I think the idea from here is that the guy, like the crazy guy, I think, is supposed to now like kill the wife or something, like without like permission, without any sort of, I don't know, without an agreement that they're going to do this. I think he just sort of like jumps in, and that's all I know from here. But we'll see. It's so good. Like, Patricia Highsmith, queen of a vibe, so good at creepy shit. I love her. She's amazing. The other one that I'm reading, Deep Water, it's also quite good, but I've only gotten a couple pages in, really. I read it at the coffee shop this morning, but there was so much going on. Like, whenever I take my kid and my dog to the coffee shop, like, I can't read at all. She's like, Mommy, this happened. Mommy, this happened. Mommy, can you cut my sandwich? Mommy, there's a tomato in my sandwich. You forgot to get tomato. It's a tomato. There's a tomato. Get the tomato out. I just put it in my mouth. I put the tomato in my mouth. And my dog's like, and she like gets up off the bed, gets back on the bed, gets up off the bed, tries to go get cooches off people who don't want to give her any cooches at all. And they're obviously people who are not into having her cooches, but she's just like, I need to have cooches off this person who's obviously not a dog person. Anyway, I'll get more to that later. What's it say?
I love my local book.
Yeah, just stick it in there.
There.
Oh, cool.
Wait. And here.
Guys, I was talking to my friend yesterday, right? And we were like all talking together, and she was like saying about this guy that used to work work with us ages ago. And we were all like, oh yeah, he was so nice. And she was like, yeah, he was real nice. You know? And then she like told us how creepy he was to her. Okay? And we were all like shook, you know, like, oh my god, we thought he was so nice. We had no idea that he was like being super creepy to other girls and like other like women in work. And then we started talking about everyone else who we've known who was skeevy over time, and there are so many stories. And like those times, like I'd be like, oh, and that one guy who blah blah blah, and everyone would go, oh, yeah, that guy. Like same vibes. We all thought that person was skeevy, even though we never talked about that person ever. Do you know what I mean? And like all these people had like left or whatever. I think that's the thing as well. We're saying like loads of the people who were like the most skeevy were obviously like older and have retired in that time, and like just like the new like guys at work, you know, they're like millennials and like Gen Z, and they know like what behavior is going to come off super creepy, so they don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just like better informed about what kind of vibes not to give to like, you know, someone in the office. But now I've got an idea, right? I was walking back from dropping my kid at school, right? And now I think I should do a zine. I should do a zine of skeevy men I've known. It can be like a diary of 15 years in employment, you know, and just like be like, oh, the one who makes you rub against him when you pass him in the hallway by intentionally not giving you enough room to pass. Do you know what I mean? Like that guy. It can just be like all like things like that. This is gonna be brilliant. This is gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, I've done it. I finished them both. Okay, this one has an audiobook and this one has the book just now. And my god, Patricia Highsmith is so good. Okay, all of her books, apparently every book or like whatever I've ever done of hers has a crazy man in it, like a psychopath. Okay, but they're very likable psychopaths that you like root for. I think she calls them her psychopath heroes. Okay, and it's always like a very normal person, right? Like a very normal dude who at the beginning you would not gauge him as the person to become, you know, a psychopath. But then circumstances like cause this like very slow descent into madness. Okay, usually just driven by other people. And what is more relatable than other people driving you mad? Do you know what I mean? And like you like, because the people that are driving him to be a psychopath and to like, you know, embrace this destiny are so awful, you like root for him. You're like, you deserve to die. And you're like, what where did that come from? My god, did I just say that? Did I just say you deserve to die? My god, that was crazy. Okay, but it's like that. And like as it's happening, like the slow descent of madness kind of happens to you as well. You start to like feel more and more like the psychopath behavior is like, you know, the normal response. Like obviously he's responded that way. My god, that guy's awful. You know, the endings as well, like I don't want to, you know, give anything away, but the endings, like I don't know, you wouldn't think, like if I just said to you now, oh, it ends like this, you know, because you hadn't read it, because you weren't in it, you weren't in that place with me, you might be like, really? You know, that's the satisfying ending, you know. But because like she takes you on a journey, she changes you as a person, okay, from the front page to the end page. You're there with her now and you're like, yeah, that's exactly the ending we needed. Oh god, so good. So I've not finished Ripley yet, the show, and it's because it's quite a long show. It's like 8 like 1 hour thingies. I think we're only about halfway through. I'm gonna watch a bit of it tonight, and so far halfway through, like it's brilliant. Like we love it, we're so into it, and it's so hard for us to find things that we like, both of us together. Like we rarely like watch TV things together because we can't decide. Ripley, we're both like, oh my god, I can't believe he's done that. And like the very like, it's quite artistic. So the story itself, Patricia Highsmith's original story, brilliant. Okay, again, a lovable psychopath. Okay, but just the way that they've done it, like very artistically, and they've taken something, you know, that probably, so in the 90s, I think they made it into a movie that's like 2 hours long, and all these things, all these amazing books that they had to turn into 2-hour movies, and it just didn't do it justice. You know, it's been waiting for the age of Netflix so that every kind of thing can have like an 8-hour movie, you know, to have like 8 different parts of like 1-hour stints. It's like the perfect like situation, the perfect like media for turning that into a show. Anyway, okay, next week, 2 new books. I think the ones that we're gonna do for next week are Louise Penny, A World of Curiosities. This is like Inspector Gamache, okay? And Edgar Cantero, This Body's Not Big Enough, the both of us. This author wrote a horror one that I really loved called Meddling Kids, and this one's like about like a noir sort of PI detective, but with like a fantasy element in that it's 2 people trapped in one body, like as in like a split personality sort of thing. And then for the movie, I think I still have to finish Ripley, and I'll let you know how that ends, okay? But then I think from there we're gonna try something shorter just to get on top of things. We're gonna go with The Pale Blue Eye, which is another sort of like detective-y type one, but I think Edgar Allan Poe is a character in it. Do you know what I mean? So it's got sort of like a Poe-ish vibe. Okay, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have any thoughts for me, any questions, concerns, please let me know. Have you read these books? Are you super into Patricia Highsmith? What are your thoughts? Any thoughts on the books that are for next week as well? I'd like to hear that. What are you reading? Let me know. Are you doing Giallo July? Thoughts? Okay, I will see you next week. Okay.